Welcome to an advanced lesson where we're going to start looking at new vocabulary, okay? And what we're going to do with this vocabulary, we're going to learn the vocabulary and then we're going to start using it on conversation classes later, okay? This is the vocabulary we've done today. I'm going to go through each word with you, okay? Now, if you accomplish something, you achieve it, you attain it, you are successful. These are the verbs for these nouns. As you can see, we add meant at the end of each one to turn these verbs into nouns, okay? And it means you do something really well. So we started off with the rewards. Another way of saying rewards, benefits, advantages. So what are the rewards of doing something? What's the benefits or advantages of it? There was also another subtle synonym that came up, which were things like profits or bonuses. So in money terms, rewards can also mean profits or bonuses. I drew your attention to the sign, lost cat, reward £50, call this number if you find it. So stuff like that. A grudge is if you dislike something or somebody. But I think personally that it's stronger. I think it's more like you really hate something. If you bear a grudge against somebody. I'm going to write that down because that's how we use the expression. You bear a grudge against. And then it can be something or it could be somebody. A syndrome is a condition, usually a medical condition. Maudlin means self-pity, to feel sorry for yourself. Endeavour means effort, to really when you try hard. I wrote stamina here because that came up here. Stamina is when you can keep physically doing something, but then I thought maybe you can actually keep mentally doing something as well, or even emotionally doing something. It's just if you have a lot of energy for something, physical, mental or emotional. To be misled is to get the wrong idea. So if I tell you that English is easy to learn, I'm misleading you. Sorry about that. Charisma, you've got this word in your language, I understand. It means charm. Now, a nuance is a subtle variation of something. Now, I quite like this, firstly because this word is often pronounced incorrectly. It's subtle. A subtle variation means that something is slightly different, and this word slightly has come up today a few times, so it's nice to get it written on the board. It means a little bit, not a lot. If you mutter, you tend to complain to yourself about something, so you speak quite quietly and you talk, and there's an expression, you mutter under your breath. That's the expression. I'll write that down over here. Mutter under your breath. And it's normally about complaining. So if I was going to be complaining about my daughter to myself, I'd be walking around my house going, oh, my daughter, she's smoking dope in the house again. Like that, sort of under my breath. I'm not going to say whether that was true or not. Okay, on to sheer. It's not a word we use very often, to be honest, but it means complete. So you can use it to exaggerate an adjective. So here you can say it's sheer madness. It's complete madness. If something is aimless, it's pointless. In fact, another synonym here is hopeless. I quite like that. Without an aim, without a point, without hope. Now, a chap is a guy, a person, and yes, it's more usual to use the word for a man when we're describing somebody we don't know his name, we just say, oh, that chap over there. Now, an amplifier is a speaker, that's a noun. We can also use it as a verb, and you can do this with so many nouns. We can use it as a verb to make something louder, and as we're talking about music, both of these as a noun and a verb work very well. Absurd means stupid, ridiculous. That's a really nice word to learn. Bewildered, another good one, means confused. Unruffled means not easily bothered, quite calm. You can say, oh, this doesn't ruffle me at all. You know, it doesn't bother me at all. A few more up here. If something is diverting, it causes you to change direction or to take your mind off something. So if you have a diversion on the road, you want to go in a direction, but you're told you can't, you have to go in a different direction. So that's more that you're forced. But normally we divert ourselves because we don't want to do something. So we divert our attention away from things that we need to do. Stamina, we've explained it. Something that's amusing is fun or entertaining. Hollow means something is empty inside. We were looking at things like maracas, which is where you hollow out wood, or a guitar is hollow inside. Now, this is a word that's come up on intermediate, upper intermediate and advanced classes. If something is widely used, it's used a lot. So on the intermediate class today, we said English is widely spoken around the world. It's spoken a lot around the world. Now, here's a nice word that came up. Tuition is learning. English tuition is English learning. And I am a tutor. I'm a teacher. I teach English. I give English tuition. To strain yourself is to hurt yourself. Normally, referring to a muscle or a nerve, it's a sharp pain you have when you strain yourself. Now, fiendishly difficult. We can say difficult, we can say very difficult, we can say extremely difficult, but this is a lovely way of saying very, very difficult. Fiendishly difficult. It means bad, but also in this context it could mean very, very, okay? Now, to provide means to give. Nice and simple. If you provide, I'm providing this lesson to you. I'm giving this lesson to you. Here's a nice idiom that came up today. It weighs a ton. It's not literal. It doesn't really weigh a ton. It just means it's heavy. Okay? And normally you say it when you're complaining, oh, this suitcase weighs a ton. To betray, this came up last term, is to deceive, it's to tell a lie or to do something really bad and be very secretive about it. Normally we betray somebody when we have an affair, if we're in a relationship and we have sex with another man or woman or something like that. It's really strong. Another nice simple one, to acquire. To acquire something means to get it. It can also mean to buy it. To get or to buy. Depends how you use it. Now, we've used this word a lot, and it's often pronounced incorrectly, so please listen. It is to wander. Wander. W-A-N-D-E-R. Apologies for my writing. To wander around means just to walk around. Sometimes when you're doing an exercise, I just wander around the room, you know, I have got nowhere to go. I'm just wandering around, you know. Sometimes you can go for a trip to London and you wander around the city looking at different things. You've got no plan, you just have a wander around, okay? And I really like this one, came up today. The drawbacks are the disadvantages. So the rewards are the benefits, the drawbacks are the disadvantages. Nice words here. To reach something is to get it. Now, you know, obviously you can sometimes reach something at the back of a cupboard. You have to physically do it. So something, when you reach for something, it's normally quite difficult. And sometimes you can try to reach your goal or to achieve something. Sometimes they can mean something quite similar. But it can also mean to just reach a tin at the back of a cupboard. Now, this is a lovely word, muttering. If I mutter, I'm talking on, we use another expression called to talk under your breath. And it's normally when we complain about something. I normally do it when I'm on my own in my flat. I'm wandering around, I'm angry at my daughter, I go, oh, bloody daughter, she's always doing this, and she's smoking and I can't stand her. Yeah. Do you understand what I mean? Now, to beat means to hit. And we're talking about music today, so we've been talking about beating drums and things like that. But remember that beat can also mean to win, to beat someone in a competition. I beat you, I won the game. So we can use it in different contexts. To shake something means to rattle it. Once again, we're talking about music, so we're shaking the maracas in whatever country we do that. Okay, mild means not strong or weak. My favourite expression is a mild curry. When we go to an Indian restaurant, ask for a mild curry because they use a lot of chili. Now, we got stuck on this word drawer. I've drawn a picture of a drawer for you. Basically where you put clothes or things in. It's an item of furniture, but it's pronounced exactly the same as the verb draw, to paint or to write or to create something with pens or paper. To assume something means to think. Now, normally when you assume something, you really don't know, but you think you might know, okay? And somebody told me that a great way of remembering this word is if you assume something, you make an ass of you and me. Don't assume things because you might be wrong, okay? Now, they used telly in this text today. It means TV or television. It's just a different way of saying TV. Bewildered means confused. It's another nice synonym to use. And finally, I squeezed it in at the bottom because, Adrian, you explained this so well. To enable means to make something possible.